good evening out there in podcast world. This is Real, Raw, and Right with your co-host, Troy.
And Lisa,
Hello, Lisa.
hi, I'm excited. This is the
Yeah.
episode I've been waiting for.
Uh-oh, that means I'm in trouble.
Oh,
Before we get started, we're going to like to do a little intro and everything. And I want to start off with you've had a big day. Yesterday, February 27th was Lisa's birthday.
yeah.
So happy birthday out
Thank
there
you. I had a
on the
great day.
World Wide Web. I want to tell everyone how lucky I am to have this beautiful woman besides me and how much of sacrifice she has made for me through the years, and just very blessed that we are married and I have you as my wife.
You trying to soften me up before I get out the goods?
Pretty much.
No, I appreciate it. It was a great day yesterday.
Good. I had fun with you.
Looking forward to the next year, and
Yeah.
big things are big things are coming our way.
Well,
I'm
cool.
excited.
Yeah. So on the this week, I don't really have anything about what not to share on Facebook or social media, but I did come across something in my memories that
What's
was
that?
I've noticed I've done a good job of deleting some of my past memories, getting rid of some of the
You have a lot of them,
so
huh?
I know.
I used to I used to get so aggravated when I was on Facebook because I
Just
would
cringe when
see
you knew I was
you
typing.
posted something new and it would be like, crap, what has he done now?
Yeah.
Because you wouldn't let me edit. So,
Well, I said it last episode, and I'll say it again. I'm all grows up. I'm all grows up. I'm all grows up.
well, good.
I haven't said that sucks balls in forever.
Let's see. You used to offend all the teachers when summer started about going to
Yeah,
the
and
gym.
everything was in jest,
I
but
know,
okay.
but we have
Yeah,
teachers in our family.
I
So there
know.
was always those hot buttons you just continued
I
to
know.
push,
It's the Howard
all to
Stern
get a
in me.
laugh.
It was the Howard Stern just to make the
All to get a
shock
laugh.
factor. It was all for a laugh or
I know.
to just create debate or instigate. So
I know. I know your
I
intentions were good.
yeah.
There was
I'm so
no.
glad we're not creating any instigation
What's that?
or controversy with our podcast. I'm so glad we're
Yeah,
just
things are going really
laid back
smooth.
and smooth. Yeah, I
Things are
know.
going really smooth. I'm like loving all the
Right.
positive feedback and
Yeah.
you know,
So
that's a little sarcasm there,
yeah, I
but
know.
no, we knew if we were going to be real, right, and raw, or
It was
real,
real
raw, and
wrong,
right.
right?
Yeah.
Get the name of our show correct.
Okay,
Because
correct
the
it.
other one's a crack show. Yeah.
It
Okay.
is. We are right next to. We love our neighbors. That's good.
Yeah.
Hey, we're all struggling.
Yeah, we
Um,
are.
no, we knew if we offended some people, we are doing the right thing, right? Because we're not here to just
Yeah.
say what everyone wants to hear. We're here to
No.
talk about some truth, and
Yeah.
sometimes
Some
it's hard to hear some truth.
well, it's the truth from
From
how
our
from
perspective,
our
yes,
perspective. It's there's never an absolute truth.
right,
It's the truth from everyone's perspective, and
yeah,
our truth comes from our heart. Nothing
no.
ill will about it. We love to laugh and we love to have fun,
And
and we're gonna
sometimes we push it a little bit.
yeah, we did. I'd like to push it. I'll be the first to admit it. I think everyone that knows me knows that though.
Yes.
Okay. All righty. So I was looking back. So 11 years ago today, we were at a place called Tootsie's in Panama City Beach,
Yes.
and I changed my profile pic, and I say I remember when I posted this, I said I want this to be one of my 20 PowerPoint pictures
At
at
your
my funeral.
funeral, yes.
Yeah. And anyway, and that was a profound comment that I made to Lisa
Mm-hmm.
that she didn't know I was that deep in my thinking, but I said your life when you die, your life comes down to 20 slides and a PowerPoint projection or
Yep.
PowerPoint presentation of 20 pictures of you, and then it's over
Yep.
with. Yeah, you
It,
don't get to see it, but everyone else does.
oh, that's a key point. I didn't think
Yeah,
about that.
I
So I
know.
need to do my PowerPoint before I die, so I know what it's going to look
Yeah,
like.
yeah, I plan to do
That's a
that.
great point.
Yeah. So,
Okay, well, I'll work on that.
okay. Well, 10 years ago, here's the post I made.
Okay.
I checked in Fredericksburg, Texas.
Oh, that's for my birthday.
Yeah, for your birthday.
Yeah.
And I said a place for a weekend's girl trip or punishment for a husband who plays too much golf.
That was you.
That was me. Yep.
And I was shopping away, drinking my wine, going to all these stores, and you were looking at is it the World War
Admiral,
II
the
museum?
World War II Admiral Nimitz Museum, and
Yeah,
anyone ever goes to Fredericksburg, Texas, which is a must see in Texas.
yeah,
That town, the coolest town in Texas, in my opinion. The whole hill country is, but that's in the
yeah. I wouldn't say
heart of the.
coolest, but
Yeah, it's the heart of the hill country.
yeah.
It's the biggest, the thing with the most to do. Um. Anyway,
Why would you say that? Everything shuts down at 9. Remember that? We were like, there was nowhere to eat
they
after
had some
9.
things open past 9.
Well, I think you need to like,
Okay, well, it's a
take
cool
it
place to go.
take it
Okay,
back a little bit.
all
It's
right,
not
I'll take it
it's not
back.
the
But
coolest. I mean,
I do
Austin has places to go after 9.
Yeah,
So
but
I like to stay out late. So.
Austin has issues too now. Okay, all right. So
Uh,
8 years ago, here's a fun fact
okay.
on your birthday weekend 8 years ago,
Okay. Before the junk came out, yes.
before the junk, when
Marriage 1.0, excuse me.
so it was the weekend. Your birthday was the
Okay.
weekend. We were opening our new bank location in Conroe, Texas, and you spent your birthday
Oh, yes.
weekend helping me and
Mhm.
the market president and his wife get computers set up and the
Yes.
furniture set up for the bank branch to open.
I
That's
remember that.
that's how you spent your birthday.
I remember that.
I
Yes.
know. Shame.
Unpacking computers.
I know.
I've always been by your
I
side,
know,
even
and
in
you
the
were all in
I
for
was.
this.
I still am.
I know. Yeah, this was Sunday, February 28th, because we opened on March 1st.
I remember that.
2016, 8 years ago. That's amazing. Seems like just yesterday.
Well, cool.
Yeah, and
Thanks for sharing.
that's it. I didn't have anything else, so thank goodness I deleted the other stuff. There are some things still out there that we're going to have to read. I'm going to keep looking.
It's okay. I got screenshots of some of
Okay.
those posts.
Well,
So I
cool.
can hold against you.
Yeah. Well, you got anything else on your mind before we get into our topics?
No, I'm just been really anxious about this
Okay.
particular episode. We're going to get into.
Well, let's not give it away yet.
Well, I'm just saying it's one I've been looking forward to, and I
Alrighty.
think you have too. It's
Yeah.
really the original reason for this podcast.
This is the reason
Yeah.
for the podcast. The reason
Yeah.
why we felt led to do this podcast
Yeah.
is this right here.
Yeah.
This is the beginning. We may have to break this into
More than one. Yeah.
more than one episode. It may be 2, it may be 3 episodes, but we're going to get through all of this.
Because we wanted some fun, some humor too. So
Yeah.
hopefully it won't be all serious because
Right.
it is a serious topic.
Yeah, but there's some. We have to find some humor in this.
We might have to do some random rants in between.
I hope so. All righty. Well, let's. So
Okay.
so Can I get started if you
Yes,
don't
because
mind?
I want you to start on the
Well, I already got my outline.
prior to the
Yeah.
discovery.
Yeah.
you know,
Okay.
and I will talk too about what my
Right.
life was prior to the
Okay.
discovery.
Yeah. Well, I thought we would share that first.
Mm-hmm.
So Lisa and I both. I mean, I'm not gonna without telling you my whole childhood because it'd take a whole other episode.
Yeah, and I'll be like rambling.
Yeah. Well, it'd be ramble. Yeah, it would be ramble. Wrap it up. Wrap it.
That's allowed.
Yeah, that would be my
Yes.
that would if I went through that. But yeah, I'm just your typical southern boy. Grew up in a small town.
Country boys can survive.
Country boy can survive. Grew up in the outdoors, playing every sport imaginable. Outside.
Imaginable. Oh, you played rugby and like soccer?
I think we did try rugby at one time. We modified the rules, but
Sometimes you say things and I'm like, really?
no, we
Just
tried
so you played the three
the
main sports: baseball,
basketball and football.
and
But
golf.
the only sport we never tried out was cricket.
Okay.
Okay, we just didn't have the equipment.
Oh,
All right.
Okay.
Okay, so
you were athletic.
yeah,
okay.
no, it's not about being athletic. So just grew up traditional family. I grew up in a devout Christian family, lots of love, and
Mhm.
just very, very blessed from my upbringing. Lisa, you had a very similar upbringing as me. I grew up in Port Arthur, Texas. Lisa grew up in
I can talk. No, Crowley. Sorry, Crowley, Louisiana. The only thing different about my upbringing, I think, is I'm the youngest and you're the oldest.
Mhm.
Um, and our family did not grow up going to church on a regular basis. I went to Catholic school where you went to mass
Right.
while you were in school,
Yeah.
and we'd go to church on the weekends. But I know your family went to church as a family and did a lot of
A
things.
lot.
Yes, and you did a lot with your, your grandparents,
We
and
did.
yeah, I
Uh,
didn't have that.
yeah, I know. We both, so we both were blessed to have great grandparents. Uh, I
Yep.
knew all of my grandparents into my 30s, early 40s. Okay, don't.
Yeah,
I
and
see. You know what? The camera does not show you telling me to speed it up. Shame on you.
I don't know why. I just want to get to the good stuff. I'm
All
like,
right. Well,
you're like, and so I
okay. Well,
learned a good relationship with
okay.
my grandparents.
Okay, that takes care of the childhood. No more boring with that stuff.
No, I would like to say that we did have a similar upbringing. We didn't know each other till we
Right.
were in our 20s.
Yeah.
I grew up in Louisiana, like I said. You grew up in Texas, so we didn't know each other existed. But we both came from. Now you try to speed me up. We both came from similar, stable households,
Right.
middle income, um,
Yeah.
faith based. I would say just practice differently,
Yep.
and
Catholic versus Baptist. That's the only difference.
both went to college, both value education and hard work. I think
Right.
you and I are two of the hardest working people I know. I mean,
Yeah. How old were you when you had your first job?
I was probably 14, I think
Yeah, I
it
was
was.
15. Yep.
Yeah, and that's one thing we have in common. We both worked every summer,
Right.
worked through college, and so we have the same values, I
Right.
guess, when it comes to hard work and
Yeah.
education. And um, but we didn't meet to our 20s, so I
Yeah.
think our adult years we were inseparable.
Right. So that's a great segue.
Yeah.
I love that. So w- let's go ahead and share how we met.
Okay.
Okay.
And don't say I don't remember where we met.
I do. I know where we
Well,
met.
you said that
Okay.
in a.
I know. I was trying to be
You're
funny,
like, no,
was.
where did we met? I don't
I
remember.
know. Okay. We met March 9th,
Ay,
1990.
yes.
And we met at a bar called Bayou Mamas in Houston, Texas, located at Westheimer and Gessner. Um,
Was it Richmond?
nope, Westheimer and
Westheimer
Gessner.
and Gessner.
No,
Okay.
don't act like you don't know where that
No,
was.
I don't know. I thought it was Richmond.
Westheimer and Gessner.
Okay, yeah.
Okay. Anyway, it was just your typical
It was a Friday
80.
night.
Yeah, it was a Friday night. I had no intentions of going out that
And
night.
you had on your work clothes.
Yeah, I was 28 years old,
Mm-hmm.
single,
I didn't want to meet anybody
nowhere
either.
near meeting anyone that I thought I would
We
marry or
didn't have cell
anything.
phones, nothing
No,
like
so well,
that.
yeah, it was 1990. So anyway, I get a call from two guys I went to college with. That one of them just moved here and invited me out for a happy hour. So I go out for a happy hour. I don't even remember where we went. I think it was a place called R&R, and we went there. They had a all you could eat buffet for $3. I
This
think.
is irrelevant. Like, get to the
Well, I
point.
know. So
I'm
um,
supposed to know you ate before you met
so
me.
one thing led to another, and we end up.
I'm just now hearing this.
No, I know. I left work at 6 p.m.
I don't care what time you
I
left.
know. So I go to this happy hour, and then we
Okay.
go over to Bayou Mamas, and I'm
Yes.
still in my dress pants, shirt, and tie. I left.
And your J. Riggins red tie.
That was not a J. Riggins tie, by the way. That was a J.C. Penney tie. Get your
Oh,
story
sorry.
straight. I think it was a Paisley tie, but anyway,
It was red. I remember it was red.
I was fly.
You were fly.
Okay, all right. So yeah, so we go to this bar Bayou Mamas, and you go ahead and take it from here, Lisa.
Well,
What happened?
similar story. I went with another couple who was dating seriously. I was single and not looking either for
Right.
a man.
You met your husband.
I met my husband. Actually, I was kind of thinking I might just move back to Louisiana. I was kind of contemplating that.
Really?
I'd been in Houston for a year,
Yeah.
a little over a year, and it was like, I don't know, it's kind of crazy over here because I work downtown,
Right.
and so I met Troy, and I was looking fly myself. I didn't have my work clothes on, but I had on those
You had those balloon
MC
pants.
Hammer
Yeah,
pants.
I called them
Mhm.
balloon pants. Yeah.
They were fly too.
Yeah.
Now I was looking
I think
fly.
you had a maroon top on. They were. I think you had like
No, that was our first date. I wore
okay,
maroon. I had a
but the
black
pants
top and these
were they? Was it?
blousy like MC Hammer pants, but
Was
they had little circles on them. Like
yeah?
it's crazy that I remember what I had on.
Was the pants like a army green?
No, they were black, I think, but
Oh,
they were
okay. Oh,
they were they were
you're
really.
black. You're back in. You're about black and black.
It was yeah, but
Black and black. Yeah. Okay.
the anyway, it was
Okay.
the style then.
So how did we meet? I know how we met, but tell everyone how we met.
So I was dancing like John Travolta doing the
Yeah.
Saturday Night Live thing,
Mm-hmm.
and I was dancing with a guy that I
Yeah.
just met there because I never had problems meeting people. So
Yeah.
I'm dancing like John Travolta, and my friend at the time said, when I come off the dance floor, that's who I was with, my friend and her
Yeah.
boyfriend. She goes, "This guy is like making fun of you." And I'm thinking she's talking about the guy I'm dancing with. I'm
Uh-huh.
like, "No, he's not.
Yeah.
We're dancing." She's like, "No, the guy behind you is making fun of you." Like doing like, and so I'm like,
That
"What the?"
was moi.
Yeah, I'm like, "What the?" So I
Uh-huh.
turn around and sure enough, he's all with his little work clothes, his little red tie. And he's like, "Uh-huh, I am making fun of you." So I was like, "What is this guy? What kind of courage does this guy have?"
Yeah.
So
I had a little bit of arrogance about me.
yeah, which
Yeah.
you didn't really,
I had no reason to have any
have any
arrogance.
reason. Yeah.
No, I know.
So one thing led to another. We started talking, and he was telling me he was a priest.
Yeah, I start
And
off by telling you I was a priest.
then it got really interesting. I didn't believe this, but it got really interesting when his coworkers would come up one at a time. First one was
Yeah,
Stacy.
well, yeah, but and they weren't even with us. They were just there.
They were like, "Watch out for this guy. He's full of shit."
Yeah.
And just kind of like all these warning signs.
Yeah,
Like,
all these different women I worked
yes.
with. Yeah.
They were like, "Oh, he's crazy." And so, of course, I'm crazy. So I'm like, "Well,
Yeah.
let's keep talking."
Mm-hmm.
So we end up, my friends that I was with,
Right.
they end up wanting to go home. They're like, they were done.
Yeah.
And I'm like, for some reason, I thought, I got to keep talking to this guy.
Because you still didn't know my real name.
No.
You didn't know what I did. You didn't know
No.
who you knew nothing about me because every time you'd
honestly,
ask me a question, I'd just make something up.
You were so full of it. And it
Yeah.
was like, it just got more and more. And then I thought, is he a politician maybe? Because I don't follow politics that much.
Yeah.
But I'm like, maybe he's running for senator. And and this is his posse,
Yeah.
really.
Ooh, I just snorted. Sorry. Yeah.
So my friends want to leave. So I have to leave because I rode with them. And I'm like, you know what? I just took a chance. I'm like, I want to come back. I want to keep talking to this guy.
Yeah.
Like,
I intrigued you.
I either like met somebody popular, important, or I feel sorry for the guy
That
because
was
he has no game.
that was my game to make you
Yeah.
wonder if I had game.
I mean, it was one or the other. It was one or the other.
It created mystery and intrigue.
It was mystery and intrigue.
And for you young guys out there that are shy, that's how you meet women. You create mystery and intrigue.
You did.
You act a little interested, not very interested.
And get your friends to go, what do you see?
Well, we're going to get to that.
Oh, I'm jumping ahead. So we ended up leaving. I rode with my friends.
Right.
And Troy, being this cocky guy that has no reason to be cocky, says, I'll go with you to get your car.
Yeah.
So he rides with me and my two friends in their car to go to my apartment to get my car and then come back.
Yeah.
So he doesn't know us from Adam. He knows us probably 5 minutes.
Right.
And so he's like, y'all don't know who I am. I can hurt y'all. And that's when I knew this guy's harmless. I mean, so we just go like, well, there's 3 of us and we can hurt you. So we go get my car, come back.
Yeah, I did start thinking about that when y'all said that. So
Yeah,
y'all were the first ones to ever say that. Yeah.
I think you were in the very back too. It was like
I was in the back
SUV.
seat, in the back of the Ford Bronco.
Yeah, you were like,
Yeah.
I can hurt you. So we go back, and the night was just so much fun. We talked, laughed,
Yeah.
and
Yeah, we didn't really dance. We just talked.
And then it was time to go get something to eat.
Yeah.
At like what, 2 in the morning or
It was
something?
2 in the
12?
morning. It was
I don't know.
closing time. And so I invited you to go to have breakfast with us at 2 in the morning,
2 pesos.
which is what, 20-year-olds do. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I was 28. You were how old?
I was 20, like
5?
five, I
Yeah,
think.
25. Yeah.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Old enough to, stay out till 2.
Old enough to know better to hang out with a guy whose name you didn't know.
Yeah. So
Okay.
Troy's 2 little friends, this little posse that was with him,
Who
they,
had, wait, who had zero game?
yeah,
Zero.
I believe that.
Yeah, they had zero game. Yeah.
So Troy goes to get our food, um, our nachos and cheese, whatever it was.
Yeah.
And
I
they're,
thought I had the Amigas, but go ahead. I
well,
don't know
you
I
go
don't know
get
what
our food, and these 2 little guys are sitting across from me, and their eyes are like, they go, "What are you seeing, Troy?" I'm like, "I just met him tonight. Like, we're just hanging out." I know, but we don't understand. Like, they
I.
basically were saying we don't understand why he constantly meets girls. Like, what does he do that we don't do, you know? And then I'm like, this is a sorry bunch of
Mm-hmm.
guys, you know? I'm like,
Yeah.
now they're dogging each other when the other one goes to get food, you know?
Well, if they really knew me, the only time I ever met anyone was the 2 or 3 times I were out with them.
Well, but they didn't say anything negative about
Right.
you. It was more
No, they couldn't figure
they
out.
were intrigued at what
Yeah.
magic or what secret sauce did you have
Right.
that they could learn from. So it
And
was
I
a,
yeah,
it
and I
was a
tried
great
to
night,
I tried to coach him. One guy, his name was
Coach.
Donnie. Donnie, the only thing Donnie wanted to do was he went up to every single female in any dance
Uh
club we
huh.
went into and would ask them to dance. That
Well,
was.
well, that's normal. What's wrong
Yeah, I
with
know,
that?
but I'm like, dude, that's not how you meet a
Oh,
female. You gotta make them like you gotta say something either so outrageous that they're in shock or something so funny that they
mm,
laugh. And I'm like, you carry a conversation on with them first, act like you're interested in them, and then you ask them to dance. You just don't go say, "Do you want to dance?" I mean,
right.
every other guy's doing that. You got to be unique.
Gotta be different.
Yeah.
So that leads me to
Uh-huh.
the
Well,
closing
and then
of
wait,
this.
can I say that?
Mm,
Say something? And he's like, well, do you? What do the girls? What do they say when you start asking about it? I'm like, I don't know. I just nod my head like I'm listening.
yes. You're like, mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah.
You have this thing of saying right a
I do.
lot.
I do. I still say that.
I know.
Right.
And
Yeah.
I bet you said it back then too.
I think I went
Right.
and right. I think yeah, I did.
You do that shit.
Yeah. And if I remembered their name, I would throw that in. Right, Lisa. Yeah, that is so true, Lisa. Yeah.
So
Hmm.
let me close this
Yeah.
little story with the clincher.
Oh yeah. Oh, what was my big line at the end?
If I had any doubt whatsoever about you and wanting to see you again, this sealed it.
Yeah.
So
Please share.
the night's coming to an end.
Yes.
And it's like,
Yeah. Is he going to ask me for my number or not?
yes, is this going to lead to something,
Yeah.
a second date or
Hmm.
second out, a get together? This was not
Yeah.
a date. This was a meet you,
Yeah. Meet you.
whatever
And
you call it.
yeah, we did not party shack or anything.
No, no,
We
no,
both went our separate ways. But go ahead.
no.
What did I ask you at the end when you were getting in your car?
You're like, you want me to call you, don't you? I was like, darn it. Son of a,
And what was your answer?
I said, yes, I do.
All righty.
But I was like, what kind of guy says that?
Yeah,
You want me to call you, don't you?
I know.
But it worked out because we had our first phone call. We met on a Friday. That
Right.
Sunday night, you called me.
Yeah.
I was studying for the CPA exam, and I told you that. I'm like, I got to study, but I can talk for a little while.
Right.
And I had my books all out on the ground because
Yeah.
we didn't have computers back then. And I think we talked 3 hours straight. I mean, it was like the easiest conversation. We laughed,
Right.
and it was like I knew you my whole life.
Uh-huh.
And I
Yeah,
was
we
like,
talked about what 2 or 3 hours that night.
at least it was one of these
Yeah.
marathon conversations I didn't want to end.
Yeah. And I asked you out on a date.
Yep.
And what was you asked me? What was one of the questions you asked me?
I said, "What are you gonna wear?"
Yeah, what was my
He
response?
said, "I might wear some pants." It was so weak. It was like
It was weak, but it worked.
I know, and I still remember it.
Yeah, what so our first date was at Papacito's on Richmond
Yeah,
Ave
and one of the things you did that was so cute. I think we were supposed to have our first date on a Thursday because we
it
lived
was a
about
Tuesday or Thursday. We lived about 45
45
minutes.
minutes apart.
Right.
So that was a challenge. We
Right.
couldn't just see each other
Yeah.
during the week. We had to see each other on the weekends. So you were like, let's go out on Thursday because it was almost like the weekend.
Yeah, I thought it was Tuesday, but it may have
It
been
was, but
Thursday.
this is the point.
Oh,
You
now I
were
know where
like,
you're going.
you're like, I can't wait till Thursday.
I had charm,
And I was
man.
like, my heart melted. I'm like,
Yeah.
oh. So
See,
we went
guys,
out on Tuesday.
all you young guys out there, it's not difficult. You just got to charm a little bit.
So
Intrigue,
the other
mystery,
unique, I know
cockiness, and charming.
that melted my heart.
It's a delicate balance.
You're like, I can't wait till
Mm-hmm.
Thursday. I mean,
Yeah.
so we ended up going out on a Tuesday to Papacitos, and the other thing you did, which is so unique, the lady asked us for the name on the reservation
Right.
because we get there, she's like, "There's a way.
Uh-huh.
What is the name for your table?" And instead of saying Troy, he says Felix. And again, I'm like, this guy has got me by. I mean, I can't figure him out. Now he wants to say he's Felix at the restaurant.
Yeah.
So you never did explain why you used Felix.
It was the first name that came to my head. It was I think I saw it on a menu or something, or the mariachi band was Felix and the Marachis or something. I don't know. So
Okay.
back then, Papacitos had a mariachi band.
And you requested a song.
Yeah, I requested a song.
Streets of El Paso.
Yeah, Streets of El Paso. They sing it in both
Like,
Spanish
how does
and
it
English.
go?
Out in the West Texas town of El Paso, I fell in love with a Mexican girl. Yeah.
Na, 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 na.
Marty
Again,
Robbins was who sang it.
Again, extra points. No one has ever requested a song.
I didn't request La Bamba. See, I wasn't unique. Again, guys, you have to be. I mean, I was unique. Be unique. Don't pick. Don't be a
Right.
sheep and pick what other people pick.
But
Be
it was
unique.
cool. It
Yeah.
was cool. And I knew I was hooked after that date. I was like,
I never knew why, as a child, my dad had a Marty album until
Marty Robbins.
Marty
Yeah.
Robbins, and then I realized I was able to use it when I was 28. Alrighty, so that's
that was the first date, and then the next week, I think I was about to take the exam or something.
no. Well, you went to New Orleans for a wedding.
You came to my apartment, which was 45.
Well, oh
minutes
yeah.
away.
So when the night before you were taking the CPA exam, yeah, go ahead with that.
Yeah, so
A few weeks later.
You live 45 minutes away. I opened my door to go outside to get in my car, and there's a stuffed animal at my door, and it's a little bunny. Dang it! I should have brought it as
I know.
a prop because I still have
You did
it.
not bring Bunny out. You did not bring your bunny. Prop.
Bunny was at my door,
I didn't give you a lucky rabbit's foot. I gave you the whole bunny.
and it was a sweet little note wishing me good luck for my test.
Yeah.
And I was like, how did he get here and then go to work? Because it was like,
right.
You must have drove an hour and a half or so.
Yeah,
or maybe over an hour.
I did it like at 10 or 11 o'clock at night. Brought it over there.
Oh, you did it at night.
I did it that night before
I was
went to
thinking
bed.
You did it in the morning.
Nope, I did it that night.
So that
I think I bought the rabbit at Randall's or a Hallmark store at the mall that day. Yeah.
We still have that rabbit.
Yeah, we do.
And we have moved, I don't know, was it 9 times in our marriage? And that rabbit is still part of our do not discard pile.
Yeah.
So that rabbit meant a lot to me. So we dated about a year and got married, a little over a year, maybe a year and 3 months.
So no, that's not true.
Well, we got married the following May.
No, we did not. We met in May of 1990.
No, we met in March.
March 1990. We didn't get married till May 1992.
Okay, sorry.
Look at here. See, most of the time it's the men that don't remember that stuff, but No, I did. We dated for 2 years.
You're right.
We got engaged. We were engaged for about 9 months because
Okay, that's
your
where I'm getting
sister,
confused.
your sister got engaged around the same time, and they wanted to get married first. I think.
Yeah,
Yeah. Okay.
yeah. So you're right. We dated a little over 2 years,
Right.
and yeah, so that's good.
Yeah. And in a nutshell, at the age of 28, I just given up. I didn't think I'd ever meet anyone. I really did. And when you're not,
Giving up.
and it's the old saying, when you're not looking, that's when you find
Yeah.
the someone. So anyway, so
Oh, and then we get engaged, and the engagement, today everything is like
oh
a
God,
production. It's the
yes,
engagement party and the whatever.
right.
We went to the mall in Port Arthur. We kind of were talking about rings, but not really.
Well, it was Charles S. Nate Hall in Port Arthur, the jeweler of jewelers of Port Arthur, Texas.
Yeah, we go inside, and this was my first time to look at rings, and it was like, "You see any that you like?" And I found one that had oval diamonds
You
along the
said you
side.
wanted ovals.
And so I try on this ring, and I'm like, "This is nice,"
Mm-hmm.
not knowing that that was the one he was going to buy.
It was the only one with
But
ovals.
I'm like, I didn't know this was it. I would have tried on a bigger one. But I like my ring. But
Yeah.
anyway, I was like, this is nice. This is nice. Well, that's the ring he buys. I only try on one ring. So I'm like, there you go. There was the shopping experience. And then about what, 2 weeks later, you bring over the ring to my apartment,
Yeah, I went back
or
that
maybe a
weekend.
week.
It was a week. It may have been on a week or 2 weeks. I can't even remember that. Yeah.
I'm just saying it doesn't matter.
Well, let's talk about this
And then,
role. This
and then,
this this extravagant proposal that I did.
I mean, it was amazing. Do we have a button for that?
We can do the heart.
Amazing.
Uh huh.
So let me set this up for you guys and girls that watch The Bachelorette and The Bachelor and all these, like, everything's amazing. So anyway, I'm at my apartment paying bills. My hair's in a ponytail. I have no makeup. And I have on a t-shirt, maybe a bra, I don't even remember, and some, relaxing slacks. And I'm paying bills. It was a weekday, I believe.
It was a Wednesday. No, it was a Tuesday.
There's that Tuesday again.
It
So,
was a Tuesday.
so yeah, Troy comes over for no real reason. I guess.
We were going to dinner that night.
Oh, I don't remember the dinner part.
I had called to ask you to go. I called you earlier in the day, said let's go to dinner.
Okay, we'll go with that story. So he comes over and he's like, "Oh, I got it done." Blah, blah, blah,
I did
blah."
not. I said, hey, no, that's not true. I was never nervous.
Ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da.
No. So I called your
Let me take a
parents.
sip of
I
water
I
on that one.
called your parents before I went
Mm.
over.
You did call my dad. I learned
Complete.
afterwards.
Yeah, I completely
Mm-hmm.
shocked him that I called. Yeah, and I think he was worried someone was hurt. And
Yeah.
anyway, but I asked his blessing, which I got, and then I drove over, and I was the adrenaline was rushing so much for calling your mom and dad because I'd
Yeah.
only, they, your mom and dad are great people. I just didn't know them as
You didn't know him,
I
yeah.
just didn't know them,
Right.
and so here I am going to ask their youngest daughter to marry her. So after that, when I got over, I was I didn't really even plan anything, and so you're sitting on the couch paying bills, and I'm like, well, look, I was going to do this later, but we might as well go ahead and do it right now. And I
Yeah,
got on
pretty
the
much.
yeah, and I got on a knee and said, "Would you marry me?" And I had my ring and your ring, and I gave it to you.
I'm like, oh, the ring I tried on
Yeah.
at the mall. That's
Hmm.
so cute.
The only ring I
The
ever looked at.
only ring. I love that ring. I wouldn't trade it anything.
Yeah.
That's our story. And then
Young girls out there, when you go look at rings with your boyfriend, look at the most expensive one first.
no,
Lesson learned.
lesson learned. We weren't like that, and we're still
No,
not
we're
like
not
that.
like that.
So,
No.
like I said, that's the
And there's
ring.
nothing wrong if you want a big ring. I
No,
love it. Yeah.
but that's the ring I was meant to have. And so, to top off this wonderful
That ring was not cheap, by the
It
way.
was, and it was like 3,600 maybe.
1990, it was a
Yeah.
$3,600 ring. That's not cheap.
Oh, I know. I helped you pay for it. We both put the payment down. We made a monthly payment for a while, but let me just
Emasculate. I
I
need that
know.
button. Go ahead.
Look, I always say that I wouldn't change anything.
Yeah.
And then to top off the wonderful evening, we went to Applebee's
Uh
and
huh.
had chicken strips and honey mustard. You remember that?
I do. Applebee's at Willcrest and Westheimer. Yes,
So
I
there
do.
you go.
Yep, I do. All righty. So yeah, let's continue on. Let's get to the good and the bad. So we get married May 1992.
Yep.
Um, truly loved one another. Loved one another today just as much as we did back then. We both knew we were each other's soulmate, and we just our whole life has been built on having a lot of fun together. We're best friends,
Yeah.
and I'm speaking from my viewpoint. I'll let you
No,
chime
I
in.
agree. I agree.
And we just have always had good chemistry together. We share a lot of the same likes.
Yep.
We like doing the same things. We like the same type of food.
Yeah.
Everything.
Same type of music.
Same type of music. Yeah, we love going to listen to music. We love.
We like traveling together.
We do. We also love not just having a meal at a restaurant. We love to meet the waiter or the
Yeah.
bartender,
Yeah.
and we love to get to know them on a personal basis.
We've been doing that for years.
Years.
I mean, years. And we like to walk. We've always had
Yeah, we've always enjoyed
a
walking
lot
together.
of daily walks in our life. And so
Yeah.
wherever we live, and that's a whole nother episode,
Right.
we've moved it about 9 times since we've been married.
We have moved 9 times throughout the Houston area.
We
yeah.
moved a lot. And not
And
because we're
31
running.
years of marriage. 31 years of marriage. I said mirrors. 31 years of marriage. Sorry.
So we've always made a priority to exercise together. We're not
Yeah.
fanatics, but we'll do like walking.
Right.
We went
and we'll
through
get on our health kicks.
we went through a phase where we would run together. We ran a marathon together.
We did.
So we try to exercise together, and except for golf, that's one thing I don't do that you do. You were an avid golfer, so
I was an avid
he
golfer.
told me if you pick up golf, I'm switching to tennis. He did
Hold on.
not want to do couples tournaments.
No, let's.
That's what you told me. You're like,
I did. One day. So Lisa got some. Occasionally, she'd come when the weather was nice, just ride with me in the golf cart when I played.
right.
And one time, she came out to play with me on a Sunday at this little club I was a member of called River Plantation, and she sees all these couples getting ready to tee off in a couples golf tournament.
I'm like, ooh.
And she's like,
look
"Oh,
at
that looks like fun."
Yeah.
And,
Well, why don't we do that?
and I looked at her and I said, "Lisa, if you want to take up golf, that's great, but I will never play in a couples golf tournament."
Yep.
I did say that. Yeah.
You did. So
Yeah.
I knew to stay back, not try to be in that bubble. That was your bubble, and that was
It
your
was
lane.
my bubble. It was a
I know.
selfish bubble.
But we're very compatible, and the other thing we have in common is we have similar sleep patterns, and that's important.
Yes,
I mean,
it is.
we pretty much go to bed at the same time, wake up at the same time. We love going out in the evening.
Rambo, wrap it up. That's a little bit ramblish there, huh?
I guess so. I'm just saying we like to go out, and sometimes we stay out late.
Yeah,
Like,
we do. We do enjoy staying out.
and we like to hear karaoke.
Yeah,
and
we love listening to karaoke. See, keyword is listen. We never sing.
we don't
karaoke.
sing. But no, we
love
just have fun
laughing at
together.
other people. We do have fun
We
together.
enjoy each other's company too.
Yeah. So, I
So where did it all go wrong?
well, so let's just go ahead and get
we
into
had
this.
so much going for us.
All right, are you guys ready for this? Okay. Well, there's no easy way to say this, and this again, we're not unique. What I'm about to say here, but I
Unfortunately, not. There's a lot of
yeah,
people suffering from this.
I've spent my whole lifetime, starting at the age of 12, 13.
Yeah.
Uh,
Like puberty.
yeah, I started looking at pornography just like the majority of young boys do.
Now
You
this
get
was before computers and phones. So
Yeah,
what
before
was the
computer
pornography like? Was it magazines, posters?
magazines, and so when I say pornography, and this is where things are going to be a little bit uncomfortable, and I'm sorry, but we're going to just be real
Uncomfortable
raw and
for who?
right.
Me or
For
oh
me,
for
I
you?
mean, for me, you people listening, um,
You got this.
yeah, and we need to put a thing at the beginning of this to let everyone know that we're going to be talking about this subject so kids don't listen.
Okay.
So anyway, no, so for me it started with just
Farrah Fawcett poster.
no, Farrah Fawcett. I was 14 when Farrah Fawcett came, when
Cheryl Ladd.
Charlie Angels. Cheryl Ladd was when I was 16, and that was the true love of my life as a 16-year-old. No, it started with just half dressed women, and catalogs, Sports Illustrated swimsuit edition,
Yeah.
um, advertisements. Just that's how it started.
Ginger on Gilligan's Island.
I never was a Ginger fan, and I really wasn't a Marianne fan. Marsha Brady, yeah, I kind of had a thing for
So
Marsha, but
yeah, it was
yeah,
things on TV,
things on TV,
magazines.
magazines, catalogs, yeah,
Makes perfect sense.
yeah. Anyway, and so, but the thing that when I look back on it, it's just not pornography that started, or just
Mm-hmm.
it's the lusting and objectifying women.
Right.
It wasn't just pornography, and then of course I got exposed to Playboy magazines and Penthouse magazines at the age of 13.
Yeah.
Uh, you know, and just like most boys that during that time did, I didn't really see any pornography in film until I was about 17 or 18.
Yeah.
But by the time me and Lisa had met, um, I wouldn't say it was an addiction, but pornography was a way of life.
Right.
Um, and i-
We still didn't have computers or phones
Still
then.
didn't have computers or
Right.
phones, but I mean,
VHS.
well, I had VHS tapes.
Yeah.
I had Playboy subscription. Yeah, I know. No, and
Yeah.
it was
Slowly,
lust.
slowly, slowly got it.
It was
Yeah.
lust objectifying women. When the full-fledged addiction to porn started for me, um, was when home computers came out.
Yeah.
It started then, and at first it was just pictures popping up, or searching for your favorite actress or favorite,
Right.
and then then all of a sudden,
I remember this on our computer when we got
yeah,
married. There was some websites that were coming up
yeah, it would just
randomly, and you were like, I don't know what is going
yeah,
on
no, and it
here.
would just you'd hit one and then just boom,
Right,
boom,
right,
boom,
right,
like an explosion,
right, right.
and um,
You think that was from your searches?
I know it
Yeah.
was, yeah, and and then you look back at it and you realize everything you push and anytime you push a button on a computer, it's traceable, and
Right.
it never goes away. It's out there for life, and you're fooling yourself to think that it's not traceable. But anyway, but what
So the computer's a key point. It
computers are
became
key,
accessible, and it
computers
kind
are
of
key.
opened it up
Yeah.
to a lot of
So
temptation that you probably didn't have so
exactly.
readily available, you know.
Yeah, and the porn stuff really got to be a problem for me when porn videos became readily accessible on the internet.
Yeah.
And that was about early 2000s.
Okay.
And it started with little 20, 30-second clips, and then it just turned into full-fledged clips of
Yeah, like actual scenes
yeah,
and
I mean, for
acts of
yeah,
yeah.
acts 20, 30-minute scenes and
Right.
stuff. It just and
And how did you keep this from me though? Would you do this when I wasn't home?
it was when you weren't at home or late at night when you were sleeping and I
Yeah.
was up and stuff. And it was just
Whenever you could figure out, a free time to do it, huh?
Exactly.
So
Eh,
one of the red flags for me, looking back, because
right.
there's a lot of red flags that didn't reveal themselves until the truth came out.
Yeah.
You know how you say, "Oh yeah, now I remember that." Was you would get up a lot during the night,
Absolutely.
usually after midnight,
Yep.
and you'd be like, I can't sleep, my neck, I'm
Mm-hmm.
sleeping funny or something. And this continued throughout our marriage.
It was all
Yep.
porn related,
So,
100%. Because you
um,
see how I sleep now.
yes, and so if I could say that's a red flag, people's.
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead. So,
So, so anyway, so yeah, by 2002, I got a full fledged porn addiction. But Lisa and I get baptized. We make a dedication of faith, a profession of faith, and we get baptized at a church we started going to, and I just felt I was so unique. I was
where you were hoping to like pray your
yeah,
way out of it,
I was
you
40.
know?
Yeah, I was 40 in my 40 years old,
Yep.
and I mean it's consumed me now. And
And so we're in our 10th year marriage,
yeah, we're in our
right?
10th year of marriage is when
Right.
it just, like I said, when it first really started getting bad, but then it was full fledged deal. But here we are going to church,
Mm-hmm.
I'm portraying myself as this.
We're in a big small group.
We're in a big
Yep.
small group, and I would give hints of it by when someone would talk about pornography, and I would always say, yeah, that's a temptation Satan's always going to use, but I would never just come out and say, yeah, I got a problem with it.
Right.
I mean, I was so worried about my image. I would did everything to keep my image I was trying to keep my false image at a different level.
And you
That
did a good job.
I
I
know,
never during that time,
right,
later in life, I will tell you there was some cracks, but
right,
early on when you're saying 2002,
yeah.
no, I did
2000,
no.
2002 to through 2009, yeah, no, it was full fledged porn addiction like no tomorrow. I
Did you
my
do it at work?
never did it at work.
Right. That was too
And
risky.
and I tell you why I didn't do it at work. We talked about this in last episode. I so porn is self medication to what my true addiction is. And I have three true addictions: people pleasing, uh, seeking the approval of others, and a performance outcome based personality. I think we
Or
didn't.
performance based outcome.
No, no, performance outcome based personality.
Yes. Yep.
Of just always wanting to be recognized for great performance, and I think that's why I've always separated the porn from work, because I was so much about my performance at work
Yeah.
and and being at the top echelon of an employees.
Right. Right.
I didn't ever want to get caught doing something like that.
Right. You compartmentalized
I
it.
compart I and I
Yeah.
was the master at compartmentalizing
And
things.
and most
100%.
most males are. That is
Yeah.
a male trait.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I will say something. During my 40s and 50s, not through my early 50s, I really thought that I was the only person that struggled with porn the way I did. And I would try to quit, and
Then
it
something would happen at work, or you'd
it would
feel
be I
you'd
can't
feel
even
beat up at work, and
no,
you'd
I
be
can't
like,
even blame
"Oh,
work for it. I
okay."
just it was just
What was the
this.
trigger then? What was the trigger?
I think it really wasn't a trigger. It was seeking an adrenaline rush.
Yeah, the adrenaline.
Yeah. And
Are you going to show that graph
I
tonight?
get yeah, can I go ahead and show
Yeah,
this
let's show
draft?
it. I think
Yeah.
this is a good segue.
So I'm going to show a little bit early in in our talk than what I planned on. But I will tell you guys, now I've learned so much about why porn creates what it does. And let me go ahead and pull this up real quick. All right.
You can
So
always show it again, but I think
yeah,
it's
but I want to
important.
I want to share a graph with you guys. So yeah, there we go. So right here, this is off a website called the Freedom Fight. And for any male out there that's trying to fight this battle of porn, this is probably one of the best um, ministries I've found to help you quit porn. It's
Or to understand it. Yeah.
yeah, because
Get educated.
what this did was it educated me about porn,
Mhm.
and then I need data. I like to analyze and collect data. And
Mhm.
so by analyzing and collecting data, I was able to understand what's going on with me so that and it's part of it's self reliance of me wanting to be in control of it.
Yep.
But I wanted all this information so I could figure out what do I need to do to fight it.
Yep.
So this graph here is various different things along the y axis here. And along the x axis here is number of hours. And this is the dopamine levels, which is your adrenaline.
Mhm.
So in amphetamine, which can be crystal meth, it has a high level of dopamine, but it lasts for less than an hour.
Right.
So your high is less than an hour.
Okay.
Okay. Sex, you get up pretty high and it lasts less than an hour and your dopamine starts going down. Okay. So you can see food has a different impact, but it's very low. Nicotine, which is cigarettes, it'll go up. Your dopamine will go up to 2 hours, but then it starts going
Yeah, it
down.
starts to taper. Mm.
Yeah, cocaine, as you can see, lasts for about 2 hours, and it starts tapering off. Well, here's the interesting thing that I learned: porn, you get up to the same level as
Sex.
sex,
Yep.
but your adrenaline lasts longer than any other drug at a higher level.
Wow.
And so that is feeding an adrenaline.
Yep.
And so as a 12, 13-year-old, 14-year-old boy having this much adrenaline,
Yeah.
you're not going to get this kind of adrenaline to last this long doing anything else.
Right.
And that's why this is so dangerous and why porn is so hard to kick,
Right.
because you're battling with a
A
high
chemical reaction,
it's a
right?
chemical
Yeah.
reaction that you can't get in anything else to last as long as it does.
Hmm.
And it's
It's
I
pretty
mean
telling, though.
it's very telling. You know, I mean, amphetamine still has a high level, but porn's above that. And
Great website, the Freedom Fight.
the freedom fight. And
Org.
let me just show you. So they go through their approach. It's a Christian based organization. Tell their story. The minister, the pastor, the leader of this tells their story. They have stories, blog. They do speaking, and then they just go through all. Oh wait, I'm not sharing the screen anymore. I'm sorry. Let me reshare the screen. Yeah, sorry about that. So, like I was saying, here's the Freedom Fight website. They just go through their approach, story, freedom stories,
But
and
there's a lot of videos you can watch, right?
yeah, there's a
Yeah.
it's I think it's 50 videos you can watch.
Ooh, how
Each
pornography ruins marriage.
yes, and
Can we watch that one?
yeah, and I will tell you that there's some articles that I'm going to put in our link that
Okay.
I'm going to share in our on our YouTube page
Okay.
that talks about the impact of porn, how it takes the place of sex and it takes the place of other emotional deals, and it just it
I
ruins.
feel like it changes the wiring in your
It
brain.
completely changes the
It's
wiring.
like you're misfiring.
There is a great Harvard-based
Uh
study
huh.
that I want to share. Anyway, this site also goes through, you know, all the
Resources
things
for
to
quitting and
quit.
yep,
And here's where I got the research and
data.
yeah, so and
Oh,
what
there you go. Rewires your
we
brain.
rewires the brain right there. And it's all this is covered in all the videos.
Mm-hmm.
And anyway, there's some just great stories in there. This is all science behind porn, and this is very informative here. This one quote here: Satan wants to steal, kill, and destroy.
Mm.
And that's from John 10:10. But if you read it here, Satan wants to steal, kill, and destroy your sexual satisfaction, and porn is his tool of choice. Pornography promises sexual fulfillment, but actually takes away the ability to enjoy the real thing. And
That's
for
good stuff. So
it is, and for young men out there, you're not alone.
This is not a fight you can fight by
And it's not a
yourself
fight.
either.
No, you can't. You're never going to win this fight by
I think
yourself.
that was your problem is you
No,
thought you could. You thought
eh,
you could fight this
right.
or end it
Yeah,
without the truth coming out. You
yeah,
know, you were like, I can fight this. I can do it.
yeah. So I can tell you, there's
Mhm.
a couple of studies that I've come across. The one was through a seminar thing I went through, or a Bible study I went through last 3 months, and one of the topics was pornography, and pornography among church going men. They said 75% of the men who attend church have looked at, or either have looked at porn or still actively looking at porn. um I actually think that number is higher. uh and I think if you take a survey in church, there's going to be some people that are not going to be willing to admit they have a problem.
Right, because they're
Uh,
lying to themselves
yeah.
too. Yeah.
Or their wives may
Mhm.
be sitting right next to
Right.
them watching them answer the question.
Right.
Um, so there's a couple other studies where the number is 85-90% of all males have either looked at porn or actively looking at porn. And
Or will look at porn.
or
It's
will look at
either
porn.
you've done it in the
Yeah.
past, you're doing it
Well,
now, or you're going to do it.
I personally think, and I will never be able to confirm this
Mhm.
because uh, I think it's the 100%, because every man has their biggest their biggest desire is sexual satisfaction.
And they're visual.
They're
So
visual.
they
Yeah.
see, and
Hmm.
that's what's
But there's always going to be prideful men that are not going to
right.
be willing to admit that. I was one of the most prideful men ever, that I would never admit this.
Mm-mm.
And to this,
And
to
that's
that,
why you paid that lady so much
I
money. It
know,
was like you were
right?
never going to admit it.
Well, to this day, I will say this: had Lisa not discovered my secret double life that we're going to get into, I would still be down the path of destruction that I was on.
Yeah.
Um, as I told you guys, as we told you guys last episode, 2013, I get hired to become. I got hired as a chief lending officer of the bank, and I was in succession. I was a successor to become the CEO of the bank, which I did a year and a half later, um, of a bank that I went to work for. And I was at the top of my career. I was financially secure, but I was spiritually broken. And the spiritual brokenness in me started because of pornography.